Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am Donna DeCarolis, the founding dean of the Charles D. Close School of Entrepreneurship at Drexel University. Congratulations on your acceptance to the Close School. We're very excited. Thank you for joining us at Virtual Accepted Students Day. Joining me later in this presentation will be the Close School Assistant Dean and our Executive Director of our Incubator and Entrepreneurship Laboratory, the Biata Institute, Mr. Chuck Sacco. So our tagline is Start Something, which really sums up our whole approach to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is an apprenticeship. You apply to our school because what we do is very different than the typical business school approach when it comes to entrepreneurship. We define entrepreneurship as an innovative approach to thinking and doing in both your personal life and your professional career. Our approach differs because we adopt a very comprehensive definition of what it means to be an entrepreneur. Other entrepreneurship programs narrowly define the term entrepreneur to mean someone who starts a new venture. It's assumed that the term entrepreneur and entrepreneurship are the same thing. But really, one is a person and one is a process. Most entrepreneurship programs focus on the process. We, on the other hand, educate, train, coach our students to be the entrepreneurs of their lives, their careers, and their professions. We focus on developing the person as the entrepreneur. Because when you hear the word entrepreneur, you really don't think of someone who knows how to create financial statements or who can develop software programs. You think of the creative, the communicator, the leader, the person who has the initiative, the drive, the resilience, the person that contributes to economic progress and societal welfare. Entrepreneurs solve problems. Certainly, the business and technical skills are important, but innovators and entrepreneurs also have those power skills. Sometimes they're called soft skills, but we call them power skills. So while there could be several paths to developing those power skills, we focus on starting something because entrepreneurship education must be an apprenticeship. Because when you start something, either a new project, a new venture, a new initiative within a company, you learn how to negotiate, to communicate, to get resources, to become part of a team. You learn how to lead. But at this point, you really might be asking me, particularly parents out there, Dean DeCarolis, what is the return on investment for my son or daughter when they graduate from the close school? What will they have learned? And how will the close school education prepare them for their life and their careers? And here's my answer. The close school student graduates with 3 sets of competencies. First, they acquire an entrepreneurial mindset. They develop resilience, initiative, creativity, the ability to recognize and screen opportunities. They experience how to manage their options. What the close school teaches could not be more appropriate at a time like this. When all of us are experiencing now, it reinforces this vital attribute of resilience. Life throws us curveballs when we least expect it, in business, in careers, in our personal lives. Acquiring an innovative mindset really enables and shapes an attitude of optimism and strength and flexibility. It helps us to adapt to the uncomfortable. Our focus is on developing your entrepreneurial mindset and character, together with learning the business and practical skills of being entrepreneurial. And that's embedded in our curriculum, which I'll discuss in a minute. The second competency is learning those business and practical skills of starting something, of being innovative in an established company. Our curriculum incorporates the finance, the accounting, the marketing, the management tools that underpin innovation. The third competency is embedded in our required plan of study. All students, all close school students are required to take a minor. At Drexel, that's 8 courses. And the closed school plan and study allows for free electives. So sometimes that's even more than 8 courses. The minor should be in an area that interests the student, an area or domain or industry or market expertise. Anything from marketing to fashion to nutrition to sports management, any one of Drexel's 100 or so minors. So when students graduate from the closed school, 1, they've developed an innovative mindset, resilience initiative. They learn how to deal with failure, what to do when things don't go as planned. They learn how to implement, not just dream, through this toolkit of skills that we teach them. And finally, they develop expertise in their industry or market areas. We accomplish this because, as I said, we believe that entrepreneurship education is an apprenticeship. You have to do it to learn it. It's about starting something. We learn so much when we start something. We learn how to gather resources, how to communicate, how to negotiate, how to pivot when circumstances change, to work in a team, to lead. Our curriculum can really be expressed in this visual, the entrepreneur as the person and the entrepreneurship as a process. And you can see the outcomes for each. When we teach the person, we're teaching them how to be resilient, how to be independent, how to be initiative. And we teach about the process, how to ideate, how to do the accounting, the finance, the marketing. Our BA in Entrepreneurship and Innovation, we can see in this illustration a sample of the courses that we offer to develop the person and to teach the process. So for example, the entrepreneur as the person, we have several courses that directly speak to that. A course in life strategies and ideation. One of our signature classes called Ready, Set, Fail. How do you handle and deal with failure? How do you mitigate risk? We have a course that's required for all of our students called Mindfulness and Well-Being. Many of our students are very anxious. Anxiety is high among college freshmen, but particularly among entrepreneurship students who are juggling a lot. So we have a required course, Mindfulness and Well-Being. How do you stay present? So it's not just also focusing on the techniques of that, but also on the science behind that. We have a set of courses that deal, of course, with the process of entrepreneurship, the accounting, the marketing, the law. Students, as I mentioned, are required to take a minor. All the closed school students are required to choose a concentration, and their choice really depends on what they see themselves doing when they graduate. Some students really see themselves starting a new venture, so we have a concentration that is new venture creation. Some students would like to work in an established company, be an innovator within an established company. So we have a concentration in corporate entrepreneurship. And finally, a very popular concentration, particularly among this generation of students, is social entrepreneurship. How do we create initiatives, projects, companies that solve society's problems? So each student then is required to take one of 3 concentrations in addition to the minor. How do we do this? I'd like to point out that my faculty and staff, many of my faculty, if not all of them, are serial entrepreneurs. They are executives and entrepreneurs. They have the experience. They also have the academic acumen. We think it's very important in the closed school that our professors have been there and done that, and they impart their experience and their scholarly knowledge to the students. Our culture here, we have a very strong community of faculty and staff. The closed school is a small school, so it allows and encourages individual attentions to all of our students. Interestingly, we have 3 degree options. The typical 5-year Drexel degree, where students take 3 co-ops, a 4-year option where students can take 1 co-op, and the closed school has pioneered a new degree, which is a 3-year degree. This degree is very concentrated. It's 3 years. Students go over 2 summers, but they graduate earlier. We've included in the degree an experiential co-op-like practicum that's included, so they get that experiential education. That's really the DNA of Drexel. They graduate earlier. So parents aren't spending money on apartments and housing and food and Ubers, and they're out there working and earning money 2 years earlier than the regular 5-year student. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to my Assistant Dean, Chuck Sacco, to talk about the more experiential part of our academics and our program. So Chuck, you can take it from here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chuck Sacco. I'm Assistant Dean for Strategic Initiatives at the Close School for Entrepreneurship, and I'm also Director of the Biata Institute for Entrepreneurship, which is our student startup incubator. I wanted to talk with you for a few minutes here about our co-curricular opportunities, which includes our co-op, as well as some details about our incubator and our other entrepreneurial engagement opportunities. So, in regards to co-op, I'm sure as you know by now, Drexel's distinctive feature is our co-op program. And within the closed school, we really try to focus on integrating the student's academic experience with the co-op experience. That's really important to us. And you may be wondering, well, what type of co-op opportunities, what type of job opportunities do students have when it comes to a degree of entrepreneurship? And the good news is it's really wide-ranging and really a wide set of opportunities that are available to students through the co-op program. What you see on this screen are some of the opportunities that our students have had available to them through companies, through corporate employers over the past few years. And you see a number of logos there of companies, some of those that you may recognize, such as Comcast and Independence Blue Cross. But what's most interesting there are the types of titles. What we really find in terms of our entrepreneurship students is that they have a really wide set of opportunities available to them. I think one of the beauties of entrepreneurship is that it ends up being very flexible and in some degrees exploratory. And our students are able to find themselves in a wide variety of companies and a wide variety of roles throughout their time here at Drexel through the co-op program. What we do see is students working in large companies, companies such as Comcast. We see them working in smaller startup companies, which give them a great opportunity to experience many things that maybe you wouldn't get if you went to work for a big company. And we also find students that are working in other organizations such as nonprofits. So the co-op opportunities available to students become really quite extensive, quite variable, and quite exciting. And we see that our students are really engaged in such a great number of opportunities through their time here at Drexel. One of the other distinctive features, though, of the closed school entrepreneurship, and this is something that really stands out and is very unique to Drexel and very unique to the closed school, is something called the Entrepreneurship Co-op. We afford the opportunity for our students and students from across the university to apply for a very competitive program called the Entrepreneurship Co-op. The Entrepreneurship Co-op, if you're selected for it, gives the opportunity to work on your startup idea for your co-op. And it has to be one of your final co-ops. It typically won't be your first co-op. But this gives the opportunity, if you get selected, to work on your startup idea. We give you a stipend of $15,000, which is a fairly typical 6-month stipend within the co-op program. You get space in our incubator, the Biata Institute for Entrepreneurship, which I'll speak about in a second, and very hands-on coaching and mentoring. And you can imagine that if you have 6 months to work on an idea, to get a little bit of funding behind it, to get some space to work out of, and to be around other entrepreneurs, it really gives you a great opportunity to develop your idea. And we've had nearly 40 students go through that program over the past few years. And I can tell you just, in working with every student that's gone through that program, it's one of the most exciting opportunities that you can have, because you really get the time and the funding and the mentorship and the space in a way that is pretty rare in life to really develop your idea. And the outcomes end up being very, very exciting. As I mentioned, space in the Biata Institute for Entrepreneurship. So the Biata Institute for Entrepreneurship, it's our startup incubator. Sometimes we refer to it as our startup lab, but it's essentially the physical space, the community space that we provide for our students and students from across the university to work on their startup idea. And it's a really great community space. In that space, you're working side by side with other student and recent graduate entrepreneurs. We are very hands-on with you in terms of coaching and mentoring. We run a variety of skills workshops and other programs. We bring in great guest speakers such as lawyers and accountants and investors. We run a variety of our competitions throughout the year. Over the course of the year, we award nearly $100,000 in prize money through a variety of competitions that give you the opportunity to pitch and present and to learn about what it means to really present an idea to the market. And we also connect you to the resources that are going to be really critical to any entrepreneur in order to be successful. So the Bayat Institute just becomes that focus point of entrepreneurship at Drexel. And from a co-curricular perspective, just gives you a great opportunity to work on and develop your idea. As part of all of that, and extending it a little bit more broadly, is around entrepreneurial engagement. We're in the city of Philadelphia, Drexel University, that is, and it's very important to be in an environment that you're going to be around the resources, the people, the entrepreneurs, the companies that can really help you be successful, because entrepreneurship doesn't happen in a vacuum. So we want you to be around the entrepreneurs that can help you be successful. We want you to be around the companies in which you're going to need to partner. We want you to be around the environment and the opportunities and the resources that are going to be so critical to your success. So we do that through a variety of factors in the city of Philadelphia. We also provide an opportunity to engage with our alums through something called the Entrepreneurship Affinity Network, which is a group of Drexel alums who are entrepreneurs and who really want to engage with you and help you develop your idea. And we have chapters in Silicon Valley, in Austin, Texas, and Los Angeles. And we work very hard to engage you with those entrepreneurs that are in those regions and get you connected with them in the right way. And one last point I wanted to bring up about just the co-curricular opportunities and the types of things that you will do in your time here at Drexel as an entrepreneurship student. One thing that's very important is that you don't need to have an idea to come to the closed school. You may not have an idea, you may not think you have an idea, you may not think that you're creative, you may not even know that you have something that you want to work on right now. And that's perfectly acceptable. In some respects, that's actually even better, because you're going to have a lot of time here to work on and develop your idea. You're going to have a lot of time in and outside the classroom to work with your fellow students. And opportunities will present themselves. And don't think that you need to have an idea to come here. I think it's going to be very important that you spend the time, immerse yourself in the environment, immerse yourself in the culture, learn what it means to be an entrepreneur. And sometimes that means teaming up with other entrepreneurs as you get started. And over time, you might then spot new opportunities and want to try to solve your own problems. So that becomes another important part, a significant aspect of entrepreneur engagement, is that there's a lot of ways to be engaged as an entrepreneur. And we certainly look forward to seeing you here at Drexel and in the Closed School of Entrepreneurship. Thank you.
So thank you again for listening and watching. Just to sum up, we really believe at the Closed School that entrepreneurship education empowers everyone. We invite you to join us. Join us in coming to the Closed School, starting something, failing, starting again, failing and starting again, building that entrepreneurship muscle. It's an imperative today. We invite you to come to help us solve society's problems, to contribute to societal welfare, to job creation, and to have fun with all of us in the Closed School. Thank you.